In October of 1934, one of America's most wanted men ran through a cornfield in eastern Ohio. For years, law enforcement had searched for him. Newspapers followed his every move. Some Americans feared him. Others admired him. His name was Charles Arthur Floyd, better known as Pretty Boy Floyd. And nearly a century later, his story remains one of the most fascinating chapters of American crime history. To understand how Floyd became a legend, we have to begin long before the robberies, the manhunts, and the headlines. Charles Arthur Floyd was born on February 3, 1904, in Bartow County, Georgia. When he was still a child, his family moved west to Oklahoma, eventually settling in the rugged Cookson Hills region. Life there was difficult. The Floyd family worked hard, but money was scarce. Like many families in rural America, they struggled to make ends meet. Friends and neighbors later described Charles as quiet and hardworking, but opportunities were limited, and by his late teens, he had already begun getting into trouble. As the 1920s progressed, Floyd drifted toward crime. His criminal record began to grow, and in 1925, he was convicted of a robbery in Missouri and sent to prison. Many historians believe prison hardened him. When he was released, he returned to a country that was changing rapidly. Then came the Great Depression. Banks failed, businesses closed, families lost farms and homes. Public anger toward financial institutions reached levels rarely seen in American history. Against this backdrop, Floyd began robbing banks. Authorities viewed him as a dangerous criminal. But among some struggling Americans, a different story began to emerge. Newspapers and local rumors painted Floyd as a modern Robin Hood. Stories spread that he destroyed mortgage records during robberies, helping struggling farmers avoid foreclosure. Whether all of those stories were true remains debated. But the legend grew, and with each robbery, the legend became larger. During the early 1930s, Floyd and his associates robbed banks across several states. Witnesses often described quick strikes, fast escapes, and carefully planned getaways. Law enforcement agencies struggled to keep up. Without modern surveillance technology, tracking a fugitive moving across multiple states was incredibly difficult. As Floyd's reputation expanded, so did the effort to capture him. His name appeared on wanted posters. Newspaper readers followed every report. Federal authorities intensified their search. Then came one of the most controversial episodes connected to Floyd's name. In 1933, gunmen attacked law enforcement officers at Union Station in Kansas City during an attempt to free prisoner Frank Nash. The event became known as the Kansas City Massacre. Federal investigators linked Floyd to the attack, although historians continue to debate certain aspects of the case. What is not disputed is that after Kansas City, federal authorities dramatically increased their efforts to find him. The hunt became national news. By now, Floyd was among the most famous fugitives in America. But life on the run came at a cost. Constant travel, false identities, changing hideouts, never knowing who could recognize you, never knowing when law enforcement might appear. For years, Floyd managed to avoid capture. Then in October 1934, everything changed. Floyd and his associate Adam Ricchetti were traveling through Ohio when their vehicle crashed. Local authorities soon became involved. A series of events led investigators directly to the fugitives. On October 22, 1934, officers located Floyd near East Liverpool, Ohio. The long manhunt was finally over. At just 30 years old, Charles Arthur Floyd was dead. News of his death spread across the country. Thousands attended his funeral in Oklahoma. Even in death, opinions remained divided. To many law enforcement officials, Floyd represented the violence and lawlessness of the Depression era. To others, he remained a symbol of rebellion against institutions that many Americans blamed for their hardships. That debate continues today. Was Pretty Boy Floyd simply a bank robber who became famous during desperate times? Or was he transformed into a folk hero by a nation struggling through economic disaster? Perhaps the answer lies somewhere in between. What is certain is that nearly a century later, the name Pretty Boy Floyd still captures the imagination of historians, true crime fans, and anyone fascinated by the outlaws of America's past. And that is why his story continues to be told. If you enjoyed this documentary and want more true crime history, legendary outlaws, and forgotten mysteries, subscribe and turn on notifications, because some stories never truly disappear.